Hello everybody and welcome back to BinDR News, and today we're going to be doing my first ever 2024 Senate prediction for the United States. Now, to clarify a few things here, this is what I'm expecting the base map to look like, and here we have some of the states that I'm going to fill in. Not all these are swing states, as I'll get into in a second. However, these are the states I feel like we need to actually go over. Now, a quick disclaimer: I do not believe the Democrats will be flipping any Senate seats, especially when the most likely to flip are Texas and Florida. The trends in Florida are trending Republican. Texas looks like maybe in the 2030s the Democrats might be able to crack it, but as it stands at the current moment in time, they will not be able to crack it. So anyway, I'm going to get straight into it, and I'm going to be making some bold predictions. Well, not bold, but these are going to be some straightaway predictions. West Virginia, that's an automatic flip for Republicans. There is a 0% chance, I give Joe Manchin a 0% chance of winning re-election in West Virginia. But I also believe that Pennsylvania and Michigan will easily go to the Democrats. Maybe not easily. I expect Pennsylvania not even be close for Republicans. Michigan, it could be close. I mean, if you look at the latest poll that came out of Michigan, Biden +1. I mean, if Trump wins that state, could he drag a Republican to victory? Maybe, but I doubt it at the moment. So that's why I'm putting it in the blue column. Now already this puts Republicans at 50 seats and Democrats at 45. So if the Democrats want to break even, they need to hold, well actually they need to get Arizona, because Kyrsten Sinema is now an independent. They need to hold Nevada, hold Montana, hold Wisconsin, and hold Ohio as a tall order. It's a very, very, very tall order to ask. And it's also a case of, if this is the map here, and if hypothetically Democrats do hold on to every one of these states, but at this moment in time, I'm leaning towards Trump most likely winning the 2024 election, probably 55-45, maybe 60-40 in favour of him. The Republicans, all they need is 50-50, and then whoever their vice president is, maybe Ramaswamy, maybe RFK Jr., who's to say, it could be. Republicans would not only need to flip West Virginia, and if Trump wins, they've got control of the Senate. And if they hold control of the House, they've got all three branches. It would actually be quite similar to how the Democrats won it. 50-50, they won the presidency and they barely held the House. It would actually be a quite fascinating role reversal there. But anyway, I do not expect Democrats to win all of these states as a brief preview of what's going on. So the first state I want to look at is the state of Ohio, because as we all know, the Republicans had a very disappointing midterms, especially on the Senate level. However, I don't think it was as bad. It's not as bad as many people are taking it out to be. I mean, J.D. Vance won by 6 points in Ohio, but if we're saying a bad year for Republicans, where I'm sure they won the national vote by 2 points still. But I mean, J.D. Vance still won by 6, and in the presidential year, we look at in 2020, Trump won by, look down here, Trump won by +8. So it's a case of, in a bad year, Republicans win by 6. When Trump's on the ballot, he wins by 8. Can Sherrod Brown maintain? But we're saying, to break even and be in a tilt race, we'd have to outperform Joe Biden by 6 to 8 points. On a bad time, you'd have to outperform him by 6 points, which maybe I could see. Maybe he outperforms Joe Biden by 6 points, but makes it close. But it outperformed Joe Biden by 8 points when Trump magnifies the electorate out here. And I know we just saw that Ohio, the issue election, that it went very in favour of not to change the constitution to require over 60% of the vote. But we all know that, I mean, we couldn't just look at it here. Let's look. How many votes did Trump get? 3.154 million. How many did J.D. Vance get? 2.19. So it's like Trump nearly got 1 million more votes. So think about that. Trump got 1 million more people out to vote in the state of Ohio. Now don't get me wrong. This election probably, would it be within, it'll be definitely under, it'll be 5 points. I think Republican may win by about 2 to 3 maybe. But I think with Trump on the ballot, Ohio doesn't like. Ohio's got a very bad opinion of Joe Biden. I think Sherrod Brown is going down. I think he's a good candidate. Could he survive? Yeah, I'm not. It's not like West Virginia, where I give Joe Manchin 0% chance. There's no conceivable way I see him winning re-election. But if Sherrod Brown did win re-election, I could see it. You know, if future me appeared out of a time portal right now and told me Sherrod Brown wins, I'd go, yeah, okay, I can see that happening. But at the moment, I'd probably give it 70-30 in favour of Republicans. Now, the other state, very similar to Ohio, the state of Montana. Now, the state of Montana, very interesting. I mean, just look here. Trump won by over 16 points. Trump won by 16 points. And I know that Jon Tester is very liked in the state. However, he did not win by a comfortable margin in 2018. And it's a case of, I mean, West Virginia is an automatic flip. So you think Republicans are going to put all their resources into Ohio, Montana, and I think people are overrating Jon Tester. I mean, could he win? Yes, but this is a presidential year. Is he going to outrun Joe Biden? Let's say he outruns Joe Biden by 15 points, and it's literally, we keep the same points here, but he outruns Joe Biden by 15 points. He still loses. And I just think there is no conceivable way I can at the moment say that I believe Jon Tester will outrun Joe Biden by more than 16 points to actually win. Now, could he? Yes. But it's the same with Ohio. I'd probably give it a 70-30 chance in favour of Republicans. A lot of people are saying that these states will be tilt Democrat. Tilt, yes. If they do win, it will definitely be less than a point in my imagination. However, I think these two are just safe, comfortable flips for the Republicans. Now, these are the last three states that I find quite interesting. Wisconsin, Nevada, and Arizona. Arizona I'm going to save till last because I found that to be the most interesting. So we'll start with Wisconsin. The thing about Wisconsin is Ron Johnson won re-election by like 1%, which all the polls showed him at like 5%. And Della Barnes did quite well, considering. But it's also a case of, let's look in 2020. Joe Biden won by less than 1%. So this is the quintessential swing state. But it's also a case, a Democrat incumbent. I think this state, again in 2024, will be less than, 100% be less than 2 points. I think Trump will probably win this state in 2024. However, it certainly will not be enough to drag a Democrat incumbent, to drag a Republican over the line. I do think it will go to the Democrats. How much it will go by to Democrats, I think he'll probably go to Trump by about 1 point, and I think he'll probably go to Democrats maybe by 2, or maybe by 1. It'll be very, very close. This is a state Republicans, they get a strong candidate in, they can certainly flip. This is on the table for them. They need to, if I was talking to them, I'd say, right, you need to go Ohio, Montana, Wisconsin. Those are the 3 you want to target. Those are the big 3. You get those 3, then you'll be at 53 to 45. That'd be insane. That'd be a great turnout. Now we go to Nevada. Now Nevada is also quite interesting because we look at in 2020, he voted for Joe Biden by around 2.5 points. But in 2022, 0.8%. And they voted for a Republican governor. This was a razor-thin election. Razor-thin. Adam Laxalt was a good candidate for them to run. And you look, 0.8%, that is nothing. That's absolutely nothing. And it's the case, when you look at the state's been trending right, they voted for a Republican governor and the Democrat incumbent, who's been around for, I think, over a decade now, wins by 0.8. This is a state that can easily flip to the Republicans again. It all depends on who their nominee is. To be honest, I think if Adam Laxalt ran again, I think he'd win. However, without knowing who the candidates are, don't get me wrong, in 1 year's time, when we know who the candidates are, like this time in 2024, I'll I'll certainly have another video up. August 2024. Kill me if I don't. If the Republicans have got a strong candidate, Trump's on the ballot, they could flip. However, at the moment, I do not know. I think Republicans can flip this. However, I'm going to say it will be similar to Wisconsin, where I think Trump will probably win this state. However, I think the Democrat will win by less than 1%. I think this is a state that could go either way. Like, if you said to me, again, person came from the future, said, yeah, Sherrod Brown wins Ohio, but a Republican wins in Nevada, I'd say that was really fucking strange. But I can see it. Now, Arizona, this is my favourite state to wonder about, because we've got a freeway race, and freeway races make this so fun. It'll be Conor Gallagher, Kyrsten Sinema versus whoever the Republicans nominate. Will it be Kari Lake? I quite like Kari Lake. She makes a lot of good policy positions. Was she cheated out of her election in the governor's race? The evidence certainly looks like it. I mean, misprinted ballot sizes so they're an inch smaller and the machine doesn't register them. Very, 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 very strange. However, I'm not going to get into the rest of that. That is just something I do not want to get into right now. But anyway, it could be Lamb running, it could be Blake Masters, it could be Kari Lake. Now, the thing that makes this an interesting freeway race is Kari Lake could just get, so let's see what Trump's vote was, 49.06. Now, what did Blake Masters get, 47? Yeah. So you see, Mark Victor took 2% off. Let's say Kari Lake takes off. Let's say this is Gallagher, Lake, and Kyrsten Sinema. Now, Kyrsten Sinema, and I think Kyrsten Sinema, I think she'll definitely get more than 2. She'll probably get close, definitely get over 5. There's a lot of independents that like her. There's a lot of John McCain Republicans that like her and then vote for Mark Kelly because he's a quote-unquote moderate. Not that he votes like it, he just votes for everything. He's a partisan Democrat, unlike Kyrsten Sinema. Kyrsten Sinema, I mean, she still votes for everything nearly vote for everything they do. But still, that's a different topic. Now, this is quite interesting because let's say that the John McCain Republicans that voted for Mark Kelly, let's say that 3% of them go off and vote for Kyrsten Sinema. Then all of a sudden, you're looking at this race, it's 48, 47, 5. Then let's look at when Trump's on the ballot. The Republican turnout goes up to 49. So, an increase in Trump turnout, and Kyrsten Sinema on the ballot. I think if Kari Lake's the candidate, I think she has a good chance of winning. I think even if it's Blake Masters, I think he has a good chance of winning. I think they will both learn from the mistakes of 2022, sorry. No more of this only vote in person. I think Kari Lake in particular has made very positive moves about this. She's going to be telling people, we're going to ballot harvest, we're going to vote early, we're going to do all the same tricks the Democrats do. And if she does that, I generally think Arizona's on the table to be flipped. In fact, at the moment, I'm more comfortable flipping Arizona in favour of the Republicans than I am Nevada and Wisconsin. I just think I've seen more positive moves from the Republicans in Arizona than in Nevada and Wisconsin. And also, Kyrsten Sinema as a spoiler on the ballot. Because, I mean, Kari Lake could feasibly get 47% of the vote and she could win here. It's not out of the question. And it's, at the moment, if you was to ask me, put a gun to my head, this is probably what I'd say, 53-47. However, this should be a warning to the Democrats. You did very well in 2022. However, Trump's caught onto your tactics. Kari Lake has caught onto your tactics. Many other people on the Republican side have caught on to the tactics of how the Democrats won. They're going to be using mail-in ballots. They're going to be using early voting. They're going to be using all the same efforts the Democrats have done to outperform. Not even in they didn't even outperform in 2020. Trump outperformed in 2020. The Democrats certainly outperformed in 2022. So, they need to be very careful, because if they think that 2022 will be similar to 2024, I don't think so. I think this is shaping up to be more like 2016. And if that's the case, if people aren't enthused about voting for Biden, which they are not, this is universally agreed, even among Democrats, people are not enthused about voting for Joe Biden. And even if there is a smaller turnout, I mean, let's take Arizona for example. Let's say Trump's turnout holds relatively the same, which it most likely will. If Joe Biden will certainly have more of a dip in turnout than Donald Trump. I'm 99% confident in saying that. So let's say Trump outperforms Joe Biden by half a percentage. Let's say Biden falls off. So yeah, this is what I'm saying. They will both lose votes compared to 2020. I think that's a given. But let's say Trump loses, or Biden loses half a percentage more than Trump does. He wins the state of Arizona. And that could be enough with Kyrsten Sinema on the ballot, pulling the McCain voters off, to give a Republican there the victory. And it's also a case of, if the economy downturns, Wisconsin easily could flip. And then Nevada could easily flip. And then we're talking, if that last poll that came out of Michigan is correct, and Biden's only up by 1, and Trump always outperforms there, then all of a sudden, you're taking Michigan into toss-up territory. And this is Republican fantasy land here. But one economic downturn, and we're looking at this, which again, I do not believe will happen. At the moment, I'm more comfortable talking about this. But that 56 Republican seats, that's not out of the question. So the Democrats need to be very, very careful. The Republicans are in a strong position. I know they're in a stronger position in 2022. However, they did not grasp. They thought they were playing by the old rules. The Democrats changed the rules in 2020. Republicans got caught off guard by that in 2022. They thought this was going to be a normal year where they win because the president is the opposite party to them. No, the rules have changed. The fundamental way the votes happen have changed. We've got mail-in. We've got mass early voting. But the Republicans are making positive moves to this thing. With Joe Biden being a weak candidate, I see at the moment 53 to 47 in favour of the Republicans.